Well, we moved here to Athens in '56, and that's when we started. I mean, we looked for a church, and the only church was in the theater building, and it was Lutheran. Originally, I was Missouri Synod, but at that time, this was, what was it, ULCA, I think. But that didn't matter. In fact, I liked it even better because the Missouri Synods were closed communion people, you know. And they were willing, if you believed in Christ, you know, or if you were baptized and believed in Christ, you were able to take communion. And I liked that idea. Because we had lived in Germany for 3 years, there was no Missouri Synod church close by, and no communion. And that didn't go very well with me. Well, I've liked the fact that the children are able to come up to the church. We didn't do that when I was down in Sunday school. I liked them to come up and then, you know, to the beginning of church, and then go for Sunday school during the service. And that's, you know, I think that's a nice change. All the changes I like are for the better. I don't see anything that I would not like. My mother and my grandparents were Lutheran. But my mother married a Methodist man, and then when they married, they went on to a big 600-acre farm, and they lived close to a little town that had a Methodist church. So they started there, and but then my mother, she missed the fact that they were, you know, not going to a Lutheran church. She missed the Lutheran service. So there was a Lutheran church about 15 miles. So they decided to go the distance. And we were baptized in that Chuckery Lutheran Church. It was a Missouri Synod church. And then, actually, we were baptized at home. In our front yard. The pastor came and did that, but, you know, we became members of that church. And we attended that church and went to Sunday school at that church. And the children used to sit on the front row. And believe me, we didn't dare misbehave or we got called out by the pastor. His daughter was my close friend, and we had to be really careful because he didn't hesitate, you know, saying something, reprimanding the children if we did something that we shouldn't have. And so then, of course, parents moved from that rental farm. They bought a property closer to Dublin, Ohio, and there was a Lutheran church about 4 miles from there, you know, Missouri Synod. So we went there, and that's where I went to Sunday school. And that's where I was confirmed. And that's the pastor, I was married actually I was not married there, but I was married in Kentucky in a Redeemer Lutheran church because my husband was in the service, and he would go to Fort Knox, and that's near Louisville. So we were married down there. Anyway, been a Lutheran ever since. Missed it so much in Germany. You know, I tried to go to Lutheran church there, but I had difficulty with the language. I mean, my grandparents spoke German. I could understand it, but when it's in a sermon, it's a little different. And I had trouble following and singing the songs. So I didn't enjoy it as much. Well, the fact that there was a Lutheran church when we came here, and the fact that my daughter was able to get confirmation instruction right away and be confirmed, and she was married in this church. My husband was married in this church, and my son was baptized in this church. It means a lot to me. It's been my, life, hit the high points of my life. We've had baptisms and weddings and funerals. I'm just glad I was able to do all that. And that I'm glad I still have my church family. I appreciate them because I hear from them. Some of them still write, or they'll send me a card, and I get a few visits, and I do appreciate it, being a member of Christ Lutheran.